Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my humble pranams at the lotus feet of beloved Bhagwan. Dearest Swami, respected elders, dear brothers and sisters. I know my theme is Daiva Preeti, Paapa Bheeti, Sangha Neeti, but hearing the previous speaker, I just got inspired to add on to that point of God being first. Now I'm reminded of an ad, an M-Seal ad. You know M-Seal, right? That waterproofing thing. It's so significant because Swami also used to give that example. In that advertisement, there is this son whose father is dying, and the son's aim is, I must extract as much as possible from his will. And he sees his will that his father has left behind some 10,000 rupees for him. And he's like shocked. So he takes out his pen and adds 0, 0, 0, 0, 5 more zeros there. So this much is nice. He goes to his father, and when his father is taking his last breath, he tells, hold on, put your sign here and then take your last breath. And the father signs and takes his last breath. He's so thrilled, puts his father down like that, and he's walking out. When there's a leak in the pipe, one drop falls on that one and erases it off. And then they tell, therefore use M-Seal at home. But more than that message, I feel this enhances the message that Swami would say, that everything in life that you earn, your money, your relationships, your everything, your power, your influence, all are different zeros. All of them gain meaning because of that one. If you remove that one, you're left with so many zeros. How many ever, the value is the same only. That one is God. And that is why, it comes to the theme that I have been given today, love for God, fear of sin, and morality in society. It is actually the English translation of the Sanskrit terms, Daiva Preeti, Paapa Bheeti, Sangha Neeti. As the previous speaker, as Ravi Kumar sir was speaking, you saw examples of what happens when you have Paapa Preeti, when you have love for Papa. Now, what is Papa itself? We'll go into that little later maybe. But if you have Paapa Preeti, you'll have Daiva Bheeti. You'll have fear of God. And each and every one of us have had experiences like this. I remember when I was about 9-year-old, at that time there was a TV program. Those days we had televisions without remote. I don't know if anyone would have seen those. Televisions without remotes. And to change channels, you have to actually walk to the television and you have to press, because we had only about 7 or 8 channels. One of them was Star Sports. And in Star Sports was one program called WWF. You still watch it? It's WWE now, right? Well, it's a stunt. It's horrible. It's terrible. Don't watch it. Was what my mother told me when I used to watch it. So she told me, this was the time when I had just got to know Swami, 2-3 years maybe. And the WWF, World Wrestling Federation, for those who are possibly an advanced generation than mine also. So this wrestling, freestyle wrestling, very violent. It's only acting, but it appears very real. It's very violent. And there have been studies which have shown how this kind of violence leads to ill impacts later on. All this I didn't know at that time. My mother told me, don't watch this. And I wanted to watch it. How to watch it? It comes around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I used to hope that my mother sleeps early. And after she sleeps, I'll slowly close the door. You have to close because the TVs were not noiseless. Ka-ching! They'll start like that, It's enough to wake up my mother. My mother can be woken up even by a mosquito flying near her ear. So I used to shut the door. And then I thought, those days when she sleeps are the days when I can watch my WWE. One day, when my mother found out that somehow I was still in touch with WWF, she said, Arvind, don't watch. It's not good for you. I may not see you, but Swami is always seeing. And my father had clicked a photo of Swami actually looking at the camera like that. And direct look photos are such that wherever you go, it looks like Swami is looking at you only. So that photo was there. But still, many times it happens like that you still feel okay. All is okay, but it's finally a photo only, Swami is seeing, yeah, let him be seeing. He can also watch along with me. Tatanka was my favorite, by the way. So, that afternoon when my mother had slept, I shut the door. I came to the television and there were two switches. One is the main switch on the wall. The other is that kitching switch on the TV. Forget the kitching switch. I went to the main switch. As I was about to press that switch, one flower from the photo fell onto my hand. And I got spooked. There was no breeze, nothing to explain this. It was very scary. This is what it is. When you have Paapa Preeti, when you are doing things you are not supposed to do, you'll have Daiva Preeti. You'll have fear of God. Then I thought of some chance it was. So I went to the catching switch. Before I could even touch the catching switch, the TV switch, another flower, thump on the hand. That's it. I went and sat on the sofa. Didn't put on the TV because I was scared. I felt this guy sitting in Puttaparthi is watching here and dropping flowers onto my hand. Next moment if there's an electric shock there. So my mother came out. She would sleep for an hour or so. She came out. I was still on the sofa. She asked, "You were watching?" I said, "No, he is watching." That was one of my first experiences of his omnipresence. But as I said, it was fear. I didn't watch WWE in the beginning because I got scared of Swami. But Swami says, don't be God-fearing, be God-loving. Have Daiva Preeti. Because once you love Swami, like how Ravi Kumar sir said, his only desire was, I want to be with Swami all my life, that's all. I don't want anything else. Out of love for Swami, you will feel like giving it up. Another such experience, all this happened in Bombay. First of all, let me tell you how I got to know Swami. There was no, usually I keep telling Swami, I am a free devotee for you. Free devotee. Because usually if you tell people how you came to Swami, they'll tell, Swami, I didn't believe. I said, if you are God, you do this. And he did it and I became devotee. I'm giving the summary of the experience. That if you are God, do this can be anything. I didn't put any challenge. I happened to see Swami's photograph in our altar, which I found very strange because in the altar usually there are only idols and paintings, correct? You will not have photographs. Which God is photographed? Only either painting or an idol. But this photograph was there. And I used to ask my father, who is this? My father who is seated here, I used to ask him, who is this person? And I don't know why, my father was a little diffident. He said, he is the one who performed my thread ceremony. My father as a young child had come to Swami, okay, let me go a little more back in flashback. How my family actually came to Swami. My father's elder brother was working in a company called Tomco, Tata Oil Mills Company, and he got a transfer to Calcutta from Bangalore. In the 1960s, going to Calcutta from Bangalore was like going to Mount Kilimanjaro or some Nigeria or Nicaragua, something like that. Calcutta, who will go to Calcutta? My God, I don't want to go. He didn't want to go. He did his best possible to stay in Bangalore, tried everything. Buttering his boss, trying to bribe his boss, threatening, I'll quit, anything. Nothing worked. He had to go to Calcutta. So he was depressed, he was dejected. His ancestral home is in Bangalore, his family is in Bangalore, but I have to go, what to do? He slept. Usually when you're most depressed, just go to sleep. It's a beautiful, relaxant, rejuvenant. I just hope none of you are depressed right now, okay? In his sleep, when he was sleeping, he had a dream in which a Haridasa came. A Haridasa, usually in South Indian states, you have a person who will walk with a bull playing the Nadaswara. It's a glorious tradition wherein they go around society reminding everyone, whatever work you're involved in, don't forget there is God. Don't forget there is God. So such a Haridasa came in his dream, and this Haridasa came to him and told him, you're very worried, no? Don't worry, everything will be fine. That's all. And walked away with his bull. And my uncle woke up, and strangely he felt very peaceful. So he couldn't explain why. That fellow had not given any solution or anything, but he just said, you don't worry, and he felt that his worry had gone. He was very peaceful, he was very happy. A few days later, while going to his office near Sheshadripuram on his scooter, there's one Rama temple there. It exists even to this day. He saw there was one Shamiana put up. There were some 50, 60 people sitting for one talk. Somebody was giving a speech. So while going on the scooter only, he just bent, he was going left. Who is that left? When he saw, he was shocked because that Haridasa was giving talk over here. That Haridasa who came in his dream, he's standing here and giving a talk. It was too much for my uncle. He stopped the scooter, parked it, put stand. He also went and stood there in that. And asked, who is this? Hey, this person, who is he? Where is this bull? I mean, because, I think he thought he's a Haridasa or something. No. Then they explained to him, he's, they told the whole thing. He's part 2 of Shirdi Sai Baba. He has come in Puttaparthi, everything. This was very, thrilling information for him. He was like, oh, wow, okay. He's God, he's Guru, he can do anything, everything possible like that. So hearing all this, he came home. And then he got the idea. What was the idea? If this person is God, what? Can he cancel my transfer? Like this. Swami says that you go to the Kalpa Vriksha and ask for coffee powder. So he thought, let me go. So he took my dad, who was a 10-year-old that time. Hey, you come with me, come. He was the youngest brother. Yeah, my father's eldest brother was in his 30s and my father was in 10. That was how it was. Because my father's side, they were a volleyball team. 6 children. My mother's side was actually a cricket team. 1 injured, so only 10 were there. So that was how big families were those times. And so my father and my father's eldest brother, they both went to Puttaparthi, traveling for 10 hours. These days in 10 hours you can reach London. But those days it took 10 hours to reach Puttaparthi. And those days whoever reached Puttaparthi would somehow get an interview. They got an interview. And in the interview, before my uncle could open his mouth, Swami said, you will not go anywhere. You will be in Bangalore only. Don't worry. And ask. Now ask what you want. Ask what you want. What to ask? Nothing to ask. But you know what? When you get a chance to ask God, be very careful. Let your whole life be a preparation to that one thing that you have to ask from God. Because you know what happened? After that, my uncle, even if he wanted to leave Bangalore, he could not. 3 years back, he passed away in Bangalore only. That is the thing. Huh? Be careful what you ask God because it will be granted. Therefore, it's such a valuable opportunity. Don't waste it. Let our whole life be a preparation to find out what is that one thing I should ask when finally God comes and asks, what do you want? When anybody narrates, this used to happen to me also. Like when anybody narrates, Swami asked me what you want and I said this. I used to always think, hey, foolish fellow, what he asked? I will ask grand things. My plan used to be like that. Hey, I will ask the greatest thing. But let me tell you, unless you practice it every day of your life, when that moment of reckoning comes, you will not be ready to tell. I'll give you my own personal example. Swami used to always narrate the story of Krishna and Arjuna to show what a great devotee Arjuna was. Okay? So Swami would say that Krishna and Arjuna are walking, and when they're walking, Krishna points to one dove in the sky and tells that's an eagle. And Arjuna says, oh Lord, yes, it's eagle. Then he says, it's a crow, it's a crow, it's a peacock, it's a peacock. And everything, whatever Krishna is telling, Arjuna is agreeing. And Krishna says, hey Arjuna, you're blind or what? Whatever I'm telling you, you're agreeing. Arjuna says, no Lord, I trust your word more than my eyes. My eyes may tell it's a peacock, but if your word tells it's a pigeon, it will be a pigeon. And Swami used to tell, Chusava, did you see? What great faith. And sitting while listening to Swami's discourse, I used to feel, what great faith, Swami? I'll also do that. What is great in that? Huh? If Swami tells this is crow, I will tell crow. Huh? I'm not getting chance. You talk to me, Swami. We all used to yearn that Swami should speak to us. When Ravi Kumar sir would narrate his experience, half of the heart will rejoice, the other half of the heart will become green with jealousy. My God, your exam, your maths paper, marks and all, you're going and telling Swami here. I'm not getting one word to tell. The first word Swami spoke to me, I was so thrilled, First word he told me is, you mental hospital. I was so happy. Because Swami is telling it. Huh? Swami is telling. If somebody will tell me, what Swami told? Swami told me mental hospital. Swami told you a mental hospital. No. Just shut up, okay? He told me mental hospital. He told me. Swami spoke. That's all it is. It's like, in the olden time, the kingdom, the villager will go and run and tell, oh Ramappa, Somappa, Bhimaya, come. King spoke to my son. What did king speak? He was standing on the road. He said, "You donkey, get out of my way." It doesn't matter what he spoke. He spoke, no? That's all. So as I said, we used to be yearning to, get a chance to talk to Swami. And so I used to tell Swami, nothing great with Arjuna, I can also, you ask me, give me the chance. I'll also give you answers that will floor you. The Swami would go to little children, and ask, where did you come from? Swami, from your lotus feet. That kid will tell. And Swami will become so proud. And in my mind, I'll think, Swami, the teacher taught. Okay. Nothing great. I used to think like that. No. But I'll tell you, the difference is, Swami would again look at that kid and tell, no, from where you came? Swami, from your lotus feet. Hey, from where you came? Swami, from your lotus feet. I'll cry, I'll let tears come down, I'll collapse, but I'll tell it's your lotus feet. Then, we seniors, we will be sitting this and this is the answer. And Swami will come, where do you come from? Swami, from your lotus feet. The attitude is like, some other place, but you'll feel happy, so, Swami, lotus. No, from where you came? Swami, lotus feet. Hey, from where you came? Swami, Bombay, Swami. Over. Finish. Yeah, both of us might be just parroting, but he is sincerely parroting. That little child is sincerely telling. That is what God appreciates. The sincerity, that innocence. You are telling, parroting, but you are hypocritically telling. You are feeling you are smarter than God and you are telling like that. So all this wisdom, when you look back, you get it. At that time, it won't. So I used to think, nothing great in Arjuna. Basically, that is the summary I wanted to come to. Then once I got an opportunity. In Trai Brindavan here, Swami, as a storyteller, he would bring in creative elements. So once he'll tell that first Krishna said it's a pigeon, it's a peacock. In the next sequence, he'll tell it's an eagle, it's a sparrowhawk, means whatever. So I used to think, fine, you can tell any. But one day, very strange thing happened. During the Trai session, as Swami is narrating this story, Swami said, then Krishna told Arjuna, look, there is a lion. I said, Swami. Swami, creativity is okay. Use sparrowhawk and, ostrich, but don't lion. But Swami's face was as sincere. He continued. Arjuna said, yes, oh Lord, it's a lion. Then Krishna said, no, it's a horse. I was like, oh, boy. Usually I used to write down every of his discourse in Trai, I'll write down. I stopped. I was like, Swami, please. What will the new boys think of you, Swami? What? How is? But after that Trai session got over, I realized that it was Swami's slap on my face. You feel you're Arjuna, no? You're Arjuna as long as I stick to pigeon, dove and peacock, okay? If I change it to horse and lion, you're not. I realized, oh, correct. So I kept in mind, yes, I should. I thought next time, Swami, you give me a chance. Anything you tell dinosaur means I'll tell, yes, I'll agree. That was my determination. Because I'm also as great as Arjuna. Just that what chance he got with Krishna, you're not giving me. But what I'm telling is, unless you prepare all your life, you won't be ready for the chance. It will come and go and you'll realize, oh God, what a fool I've been. So now I was mentally prepared. For years I prepared for this Krishna-Arjuna dialogue. You bring up that Swami once again, that story. Any animal you tell, I'll be fine. So in the first case, I had a problem with bird animal. Now Swami brought up the same example without Krishna-Arjuna, and again I went. I'll tell you how it happened. This happened in Hadshi. When we had gone, one day Swami very lovingly agreed to watch all the photos that we had clicked during the visit in Hadshi. And being the main photographer, because I had the biggest camera, I got the privilege to show most of my photos, and I was showing the photos. And there was one beautiful photograph of Swami's residence at Hadshi during sunrise. So the sun is rising behind, it's orange and bright, and everything else is black, it's silhouetted, and Swami's mandir is dark, everything, and the orange, you can see the sky is orange and an orange ball. I thought we'll pause at that photo because I want to tell Swami this is your mandir and the sun is also like you only, Swami, it's rising. Some dialogue I thought I'll give. But suddenly, before I could give my dialogue, Swami says, how big the moon is. No, no, Swami. That is sun, Swami. That is sun, I told. I had forgotten, because I am prepared for Krishna Arjuna. Sun, moon, I am not ready. No, Swami, that is moon. Swami, no. I said, no, Swami, that is sun. Swami, no, it is moon. Swami, I only clicked the photo, Swami, it is sun. Imagine, I am singing Brahmandana, Chandar Suraj Tumne Banai, and here I am telling, I clicked, Swami. What Swami could tell? You shut up, I made, okay? I can make it now if you want. But Swami continued, God knows everything, but He is the most humble. We know nothing, but we are so boastful. Swami, Paapa Bheeti explaining, he's telling, see, it's fully dark, you see, everywhere. It's so dark, night time it is. That's why it is moon. I'm like, no, Swami, I set exposure. Oh, how to explain, Swami, this exposure and all to this? No, Swami, it is sun only. It's orange in color. No, moon is white. I'm telling this to the one who made it, correct? Swami said, okay, whatever you say only is correct. And I felt happy, we went. After that whole thing got over, I realized, God, what a fool. Arjuna, what he told Krishna? Lord, whatever you say is right. Here what I did? Made Swami tell, whatever you tell is right. That is what I am. So when we look at other examples, when we see, we think that, I will also do this, nothing great. What is great in this? But we have to do all our life. It's like telling, winning Olympics, very simple, 100 meters, you know what to do? For 10 seconds in your life, you have to run fast, that's all. That's all it is, only 10 seconds. For the 10 seconds, 10 years you have to practice. Otherwise it won't happen. Swami also tells like that. To get your ultimate goal in life, nothing. At the time of death, you have to think of God, that's all. And there are stories also in our Puranas of Ajamila. He did all the sins in his life, but because of his karma, his son's name was Narayana. And when he was dying, he thought, oh God, my son, the only person who possibly loves me in this world. Narayana, he says. And Lord Narayana says, he called my name. Yamadutas can't touch him and sends out his messengers. And then Swami continues with one Chinnakatha. He says, there was one shopkeeper who got inspired with this. He kept his son's name, Rama Krishna Govinda Narayana. 4. One of them at least will come now. He had 4 sons. Ajamila had only 1 now. 4. And led his life as he wanted. And as he was about to die, Rama Krishna Govinda Narayana. All got ready there to send. Here what happened? All 4 came, it seems. And then he looked and said, hey, you fools, if all come here, who is taking care of the shop? And died. Again, shopkeeper only, next birth. You need lifelong practice. And that is why when we, start our journey itself, let's begin early. Let us make, they say, even before there's teeth in your mouth, you should be able to tell God's name. But nowadays we leave it when no teeth is left in the mouth to take God's name. They meant even as a child you start thinking of God. Here we postpone God to beyond 60 and 70. Daiva Preeti, Paapa Bheeti, Sangha Neeti. In the modern day, what I have found is, when you start speaking about love for God, people start with this, that how do you know God exists? Swamiji gave one way of answering this question. How do you know God exists? He said, with the concept of God, I am finding happiness and peace. What problem you have got? He exists for me. You get lost. This is one answer you can give. That's what he said. But when I think of this, I'll tell you one scientific way. My question, if you ask me, how do you know God exists? My question is, how do you know you're your father's son? How do you know you're your father's daughter? How? Because your mother told. Don't tell genetic testing and all. In this whole audience, raise hand who has done genetic testing, please. Nobody did. Simply you will tell genetic testing. Basically, your mother told, that's all. Correct. That you are ready to take on faith. And this is my father. But for God, you want proof. Okay, fine. Genetic testing we don't, but all of us have got birth certificate now. At least in this era, all of us have birth certificate. So some proof at least is there. If you read the memoirs of Sunil Gavaskar, he writes that when he was born with a hole in his left earlobe. He knows it because his mother's brother, his uncle said, "Ayo, this is bad luck, this is such a thing, it's not nice, children born like this." But what happened next day when the uncle comes, that hole is missing. The ear is full. It's not a miracle. The baby has got exchanged. While giving the first bath, the babies have got exchanged. So in the hospital, they quickly searched. That day, 4 babies had been born. 4 or 5, I don't remember. But finally, where was Sunil Gavaskar? At the time, he was not named Sunil Gavaskar. That he was a crying baby, that's all. The crying baby was next to a fisherwoman. And Sunil Gavaskar writes that if not for that hole in my ear, instead of scoring 10,000 runs for India, I might have been catching 10,000 fish on the Malabar coast of India. Why I am saying this is to show that doctors can make mistakes. Just because he signed there that you are the son or daughter of so-and-so it's not scientific proof. It is not scientific proof that you are your father's child. And even if you say that I have done genetic testing, basically what is the genetic testing? You take your father's blood, you take your blood, put it in the machine. Red light means not the child. Green light means you are the child. Like third umpire it is. That's all it is. Now, how do you know that that machine is working correctly? What if it is just one switch you connected to one bulb there simply? Oh no, Philips is put there, so it must be working fine. Siemens is written there, it must be correct only. Must be correct only. That machine told me that I am the... You have got faith in that machine, but don't have faith in God. Then somebody will say, no, listen. I work in Siemens, okay? I'm a top engineer. I only built that machine. I know it works, so therefore scientifically I can prove that I am my father's son. Fine, you know how that machine works. But do you know the biological principle based on which it's working? How do you know that that principle is correct? Hey, that Nobel Prize winning scientist told you, that's why. Oh, so you believe that scientist, you have faith in that scientist. Even if you know the biology, do you know the chemistry? Do you know the biochemistry? In short, to prove that you are your father's child, you need to have all the knowledge in the world. In the same way, to prove that God exists, you need to be God yourself. There's another way of proving that my father is my father. What is that? Just believe that he is your father, okay? And the way he treats you in life, that proves it has to be my father. Yeah, why else he'll take care of me like that otherwise? In the same way, that is how faith works. Just believe once. Just believe. This is what you can answer, because this is a question as youngsters, people come and tell, you're a youngster, you're so unscientific, what is God? Who is God? It's very cool to tell such things. Show them it's cool to answering them back. Who is God? Who are you? You're your father's child? How you know? Ask. Ask directly. Because once you experience God, there is so much of peace. And Swami says, the proof that you have love for God, Daiva Preeti, is Paapa Bheeti. You should have fear of sin. Otherwise, you can't tell that you love God. There was a group of youngsters who had come from United Kingdom in Brindavan only some years back. And at that time, Swami, while passing by them, happened to comment, because they had long hair, some moustache, some beard, some of them. And it feels, as boys, when we grow up, we feel that, what if I have to show that I am a man, I need moustache. The longer, the better. 2 curls, terrific. 3 curls means awesome. If I can use a comb on that moustache, too good. You use comb on your head, I use it on my... Nowadays, style is like that. We don't use comb on the head because there we keep it shaven. And moustache, we need a comb because that we twirl it 3 rounds. But Swami just said, passing by, he commented. He said, this is not so nice. Look at my students. How neat, how short their hair is, how good they are, how good they look. This is what Swami told them. When they went back after darshan, they discussed, they said, if Swami is happy with short hair, then imagine how happy Swami will be if there is no hair. All of them instant gundu. Next day, when Swami came for darshan, he's seeing one whole section of one helipad there. And almost Swami was like, I didn't tell like this, yaar. I didn't mean this, yaar. But Swami was so happy. Swami was so happy. We have read, in our scriptures that Hanuman wanted to follow Rama everywhere. And that was fine. Till the war with Ravana, because till then Rama was alone. Sita was not there. But after Lord Rama returns to Ayodhya, after the coronation, as they are going to the bedroom, Hanuman still comes. Rama says, Hanuman, what? Lord, I want to be with you. He says, Mother Sita is there. Now you can't come. Why? Hanuman, you don't understand. So Rama just points out to the sindoor on Sita's forehead. He says, see that? You don't have that. So what Hanuman does? He goes to Ayodhya, breaks one kumkum shop and jumps in one drum of kumkum, comes and Rama, now I'll come, full. Rama is so happy with Hanuman. Oh dear Hanuman. Wherever Rama is, you will always be there, don't worry. That is the kind of thing we see. This is the beauty of the Lord coming in human form, where we don't have to listen to Treta and Dwapara Yuga experiences. Kali Yuga, these things have happened. And these boys came clean shaven. Swami was so happy. Every day after that, Swami interacted with them. That is what Daiva Preeti does. When people ask, why are you vegetarian? Why don't you smoke? Why don't you drink little bit? Not whiskey, just beer. That's all. Not cigarette, just beedi, one sip. Little only. It doesn't matter, no. It's not about me having great control. It's not like that. Swami doesn't like it. That's all. Swami doesn't like. I love Swami so much. I don't know. I think I love Swami so much. And Swami doesn't like it. That's all. It becomes so simple. Why vegetarian? People come, why? Non-vegetarian food has got a lot of protein. It's good. Okay, all that. Swami doesn't like it. No, scientifically I can debate on that. That's separate. That's not my theme today. I can scientifically prove the disadvantages of non-vegetarian over vegetarian diet. But the reason why it's not that as a child I knew all the scientific thing. I didn't know any of that. It's just that Swami doesn't like it. No, let's not do it. That is the beauty of, loving God. When we love God, automatically we will not do things He doesn't like. And of course, I have forgotten to come to Sangha Neeti. Sangha Neeti is so important. What is the meaning of Sangha Neeti? Morality in society. This is a little bit serious because this is the age when you will get to know of so many things happening around the world. Please process this because this is so significant and alarming also. When they say morality in society, let's take up small things. I want to take up 3 cases. One is the case of parenting. One is the case of marriage. One is the case of financial savings. All 3 which will be becoming important in a few years from now. In India, in Bharatiya tradition, Bharatiya culture, it's about Indian culture and spirituality. The moment you reach a certain age, your parents, your neighbors' parents, your parents' neighbors, your friends' parents, your parents' friends, everybody will come and, when are you getting married? When are you getting, it'll start. It'll start. When is this? It starts at that age. It's a kind of societal pressure that we face in India and we think it's a negative thing. You just have to look at what has happened sociologically in the past 40-50 years in Western civilizations that believe in absolute freedom. No, it's my choice. I'll marry at 55. It's fine. You live only once. YOLO, they say. Y-O-L-O. You only live once. So why bother about all this? It's fine. Behave like a child till you're 40. Marry at 65, no problem. At 65, marry a 20-year-old. Everything is fine, freedom. In fact, people are so obsessed with freedom, that is the reason why they turn to spirituality also. Because there's a wrong notion that spirituality means freedom. I'm freed from all these bandhanas. Nothing. I don't care about family. I don't care about society. I don't care about anything. I'm spiritual. A very, very wrong concept. In Bharatiya tradition, in the beginning, in the brahmacharya phase, at the young age, you think only about yourself. You take care of yourself. Then you enter the grahastha phase, where you start broadening your heart. Start thinking about a few others. That's when you start thinking about your family. But if you choose not to marry, it is not to escape the responsibility of a family. It is because you are taking on a higher responsibility of taking care of the society. You are married to society. If you are married to society, you can run away from marrying an individual because you are taking on a higher responsibility. Let me make it clear with the example of cricket. All of you follow cricket, right? IPL is going on, definitely you must be following it. Now just imagine in cricket, if you are playing and the bowler bowls, it hits the wicket, and you say, yes, that is 6 runs. Why? No, from now on, no, this is the rule. If you hit the wicket, I'll get 6 runs. And next ball, when he hits the wicket, then it's out. No, you need to have some rules. Then only you can enjoy the game. These are the rules which we need even for the game of life. You can't go arbitrarily, basing on each man's freedom. It's my freedom. There's a case in Britain where a man hit one fellow, and then when he was produced in court, he tells the judge, don't I have the freedom to swing my arm? The judge sentenced him, gave him a fine, and he said, you have freedom to swing your arm, but your freedom ends where his nose begins. Your freedom is only till here. You can't go to his nose. It's not about all freedom. In this quest for freedom, we are forgetting all sense of responsibility, and that is why Sangha Neeti is so important, because society brings on that responsibility. One may say, then make a law. Is morality, when they say Sangha Neeti, morality, is morality same as law? Make a law then, no. You can't make a law that a girl will get married at 25 and boy will get married at 28. You can't make a law. It's not right. You can't make a law like that. But you know what, in Indian culture, though it's not a law, somehow it happens that in that age they get married. Why? That is societal pressure. Everything is societal pressure, family pressure. We think of it negatively. We don't understand that has helped to keep this society, this family structure alive and vibrant. Here, if some child misbehaves, hey Ramu, no. Ramu, no. Ramu, over, solved. You do that in America, you will be sued. Ramu will sue you for $1 million for inflicting unbearable injury on the largest muscle of the human body, like this and all. You will be sued in court. So what is happening? The parents are scared of their children. They can sue me for anything. So the moment they reach, now he is an adult. Get out of the house. Go. Students are taking their own loans. How many of us, if we have to study, we take our own loans? No. All our education loans our parents only take. Because in Indian culture, if there is a father who doesn't take care of his child, if there is a mother who doesn't take care of a child, it's a matter of shame. They can't show their face in society. There it's a cool thing. I remember here in Brindavan when our Sanskrit teacher Venkateshwar Rao sir used to teach us, he used to tell that in those societies you hear sentences like, hey, my children and your children are fighting with our children. This is what has happened. Because the family has crumbled, society has broken. So what happens? The parents kick out the children, and the children will not take care of the parents later on. So then who is taking care of the children who are kicked out, the juveniles? Who is taking care of the parents who have become adults, old? Society. The government. Government is taking care. Social security, government is taking care of the juveniles also. By spending money. Now that is another thing. When I said savings, financial savings. In Bharatiya culture, to take a loan, it used to be like a kalank, a black mark. Nobody will be in peace as long as there's a loan on my head. That 1 lakh I have to somehow repay. I'll repay that. Have you heard of farmer suicides in America? Have you heard of anybody committing suicide? Not because they are not in loan. It is the greatest indebted country. It's because they don't have this. They don't feel it is bad to take loans. That is where the culture of credit cards have started. The longer thing, if you see, the savings, the family household savings in America is a negative now. This is a financial time bomb that's going to explode in some years. Where will you find the money to take care? You have to take care of the old people, you have to take care of the young people. In India, what happens? The old take care of the young, and once they become more old, the young take care of the old. So superb it is. And for that, they do savings also. All these, it is so important because we are going to be the workforce in another few years. It is so important to have morality in society. And it is not law. It is not a law. You can't make a law for all these. You can't make a law that every person should save this much money. You can't make a law that every person should get married at this age. That job society does. And for that to happen, there has to be a basis. There has to be a basis, and the greatest basis for that is love for God. Because you know what? Any other thing that you may believe will all get shattered when you do something nice and something bad happens to you. Then you'll feel, what is the use of being good? It is at those times that you'll remember that let me be good for God's sake. Because of the time getting over, I'll just conclude with one last point. When we say of Daiva Preeti with respect to Swami, one point that comes to mind is, this came to me, as I said, and I'm sure it will be coming in your minds also. That is that, nice, you're telling all these stories with Swami, but what now? Now what I'll do? Now Swami is not there, right? Swami is physically not there. How do I build this? Let me tell you, dear brothers and sisters, this was a question that I also asked, even though Swami was physically there. Because it's not as if day in and day out we would sit and talk to Swami. And Swami has given a beautiful answer for this. One is a memory, one is an incident that happened in Kodaikanal. What is that memory? First I'll tell the incident. 2006, Swami had his fall, because of which he needed assistance while walking. And this turned out to be a great opportunity for all the students. Because every day somebody gets the chance to hold Swami's hand and walk Swami from the chair to his room. And every day what would happen is, Swami will hold some boy's hand and all of the boys will look at, lucky yaar. And later on, pull is like, what yaar, nice love form yaar, They used to, because that fellow is so lucky. One day, Swami holds one boy's hand, and even before others could start, what yaar, like that, Swami only says, lucky boy, Oh, no, what you'll do? Your dialogue when God takes off, what you'll do? Yes, Swami. But then, surprisingly, Swami says, boys, holding Swami's hand, not important. Not important? What is Swami saying? This is a song, we want to touch your feet, O Lord, we want to, Swami, why do we come to you? Why do you want to become students? We want to be close to you, we want to touch you, and you're telling it's not important. And then Swami adds, Swami says that holding the hand, not important, but yearning to hold the hand, very important. That is what will give you everything. Take a moment to digest this statement. It is so meaningful. It means, even if you hold the hand, but you don't have yearning, it's of no use. But if you have the yearning, even if you don't get the opportunity to hold the hand, you will get everything. When asked, there's one song, Ek Radha, Ek Meera. This song is supposed to contrast Radha and Meera, the differences between them. But anybody who listens to the song, who understands Hindi, will realize that this song speaks about the oneness of Radha and Meera. Who is more lucky, Radha or Meera? First, who? Meera, Radha. See, opinions are divided, which means there is a support base for Radha also, support base for Meera also. Why? In my opinion, both are equal, because both got Krishna ultimately. Fine, no, that's it. Both won the World Cup, so what is there? Both are great. Both are World Cup champs. How? Radha lived with Krishna. Meera was yugas separated from Krishna. They both got the same result because both had the same yearning, that's all. And this memory which I was saying, I remember sitting in the front once and thinking, Swami, I'm sitting in the first line, but still you're not talking, Swami. If you don't talk, it's no use. And I'm very feeling sad because even if you sit in first line, there are some 3 meters between you and Swami. Swami, I've come till here, but still what, Swami, I can't, not taking my letter only. That day from the 10th line, Swami will call, come and take letter from him. Swami, I'm here. My letter is 1.5 foot long. Means everything easy. You just have to bend little, Swami, you'll reach off my letter. Still no. One such day, I saw one housefly. I went and sat on Swami's feet. And in that, like they say, in Ramayana, Shokatvam Shlokam Agataha. Means from sorrow came great poetry like that. So from me also that day I was thinking, you blessed fly. How noble is your birth, I am here struggling, studying in the college, going day in and day out, and you simply come buzzing and sit on the lotus feet. 7 generations before and 7 after are redeemed, oh fly. You're great. All that, I'm eulogizing that housefly there. The next moment, there's a pigeon that drops, and the fly goes, sits on that. And I'm like, oh, you fly, you're going and sitting on pigeon dropping. What? Then I said, no, Swami, I don't want to be the fly. The fly may sit on your feet, but it doesn't know the value of your feet. It's going and sitting there also. Who is more lucky? Who is sitting on the feet throughout? Or who is yearning to be at the feet but not able to touch the feet? That's why Swami would say, don't be like frogs near a lotus. Be like the honeybees that are far but are always focused on the lotus. I narrated this just to tell you, little brothers and sisters, that don't ever feel that Swami is not there. I'm telling you with complete conviction. All you need to do is with full sincerity and full feeling in the heart, just call out once and see. 100% he'll come. He has to come because he has said. He's bound to his devotee. He has to in invariable, amazing ways, but he'll come. And that has been my personal experience, and I'm sure anybody who has attempted this has been the practice. We may not be sincere and true devotees, but he's a very sincere and true God. All it needs is that intensity. That intensity. And not once in a while intensity like a flower pot, It will come and finish, over. Not like that. Consistent intensity. Daily basis, regularly. Every day find some time for God. Not just during summer. During summer course full 18 hours, God. After that over, no. Better than that is every day 18 minutes God. Much better. It will give much better connection with Swami. We sometimes think, no, I'm so busy, I don't have time. But when we are in trouble, we want God, right? Imagine I'm driving in the car and suddenly one truck comes and it's Sai Ram! Swami says, a little busy yet, tomorrow I'll come. No need, Swami, tomorrow I'll only come. Huh? That time we want him to leave everything and come rushing the way he came for Draupadi. But we don't want to do anything. We are busy. Let us realize how important God is in our life. Sangha Neeti will come, Paapa Bheeti will come, let's have Daiva Preeti. Because though God gives limitlessly, He also looks, He also sees. I remember Sani sir, who is seated here, narrating how Swami told, why I make my students distribute prasadam. Because a time will come in their life when they'll need my help. At that time I'll think, what have they done for me? They did prasadam distribution. What is prasadam distribution? 10 minute, 15-minute job it is. But we need to do something for God. Even when Draupadi called out, no, Hridayavasi, Krishna, please come. Krishna said, what Draupadi did for me? And he remembered, once I was cutting that sugar cane and I cut my finger. It started bleeding. At that time, what happened? Rukmini, Satyabhama and all ran to get Dettol, Savlon, means whatever existed in those days, that equivalent. But Draupadi tore her sari. It's not a simple thing, a woman tearing her sari. That was silk sari. She tore and tied it to Krishna. Krishna said, Draupadi gave me sari. I will give Draupadi sari. How much Draupadi gave? 2 inch. How much Krishna gave? Guinness Book of World Records. 10 kilometers. That is why the only worthwhile investment in life, the only thing that is worthwhile investing is in God. Because God knows this much if we give God, in the time of our need, you see how it will come back manifold. We'll get overwhelmed. I promise you that if we put in this much for God every day, in the time of our need, it will come to us in such measure that we will be in tears. This is what God does. People come to Him with tears. God touches their life and they go out with tears. The first were hot tears of sorrow. Those are cool tears of ananda or bliss. I pray to Swami that every moment of our life, our love for Him should keep growing and growing and growing, because growing in love for Him is life, else it is death. May we always be living lively, growing in love for Him. May we have Daiva Preeti. Swami, let us love you more and more every moment of our life. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.